What if I told you that you chose your name before you decided to reincarnate or incarnate on Earth? Sit with that for a moment. Welcome to The Cards Made Me Do It, your gateway to the mystical realm of cardology. I'm Ayafa, here to explore how this esoteric science intertwines astrology, numerology, and the wisdom of the cards. Join me as we navigate life's mysteries through the lens of lunar cycles and celestial energies, unlocking insights that guide our path. Before we begin, I want to remind you that this podcast is a space for exploring deep, thought-provoking, and sometimes taboo topics. The goal is always to foster awareness, growth, and meaningful conversation, not to judge or harm. While I share insights from my experience as a human, certified cardologist, energy healer, and spiritual guide, this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice in legal, mental health, or medical matters. This is a brave space. If at any point you need to pause, reflect, or take a break, please honor that. Some content may challenge your perspective, and that's okay. We're here to explore, uncover, and evolve together. Alafia, and welcome back to The Cards Made Me Do It. I am your host, Ayafa, and we're going to get into a series called What's in a Name? And in this series, we'll discuss how the energetic weight of your name via cardology can hold some insights into what's in your soul's journey. We'll discuss things from different name variations, the power of nicknames, name changes, or pivotal moments in our lives that prompt name changes. So get ready for it. So first things first, I asked a thought-provoking question in the beginning. Did you know that you chose your name before you incarnated here on Earth? And in different stories of, do I want to say conception? But in different creation stories or stories of our beginnings as humans, in Ifa, at least, I can tell you that it is of the belief that you choose your destiny before arriving here on Earth. There are other belief systems that also believe this as well. And you choose your family, you choose the lessons that you want to learn. You even have like soul family members, but that's getting into another topic. You even have soul family members or soul mates and things like that that help to come to either activate you or remind you of the path that you chose. So, getting into it, one thing that I have always been told, and I teach best by giving examples of my life and those around me with their permission, of course. And one thing that I've always been told is that my name was spelled wrong. And me being me, I'm like, how the hell are you going to tell me my name is spelled wrong? But that's neither here nor there. And so my name by birth is Tiara. So first of all, with cardology, how to tie this in is that each name has their own solar value because each and every letter has their own solar value, which you add up to then get the card of your name. And so depending on what that value is, that adds another 13 cards to your hand. Let's think of this like, can't necessarily say spades, even though it's 13 cards, 13 books you can get in spades, but I digress. But all in all, it adds more cards to your hand. So in the way that those cards will play out in your life. And so getting into the examples of even just your name, period, if you look into the meaning of your name. My name, for instance, Tiara, depending on what you are, let's say, depending on what you believe in and where you're looking up the meaning of your name. So Tiara in itself can be derived as Earth, Mother Earth, or crown. And I could see where all of those things tie into my personal life's journey. I am a mother. I have had to find my own pathway to being a mother. I have in turn helped to mother other people, just to say the least. And it's interesting because my birth card, which is a 6 of clubs, being a club's woman, we tend to wind up being known as a mother to the world. Another thing I've also had to work on a lot is my crown chakra. So I've always found it interesting that my name correlated with such. And so with the way my name is spelled, the solar value of my name comes out to be an Ace of Diamonds, which is the desire for money and monetary ambitions. I have been an entrepreneur for as long as I can remember. Most of my adult life now, I've been an entrepreneur. However, if my name would have had an extra R, I could have easily been a 6 of spades by name, which is funny because that's my primary ruling card. But that's the card of karmic law, soul contracts, fate, karma, and responsibility. So that's some heavily karmic stuff. If it would have been spelled with an A instead of the E, I could have been a 10 of clubs, which is the royal teacher, which would have also been Mars to my birth card, which is interesting. An extra R on top of that would have been a 2 of spades, the card of friendship, cooperation, and life coaches. And then another interesting way I've seen my name spelled, I actually had a friend back in my youth, and her name was spelled Teairra. And that comes out to be a 7 of spades, which is faith and trust in source. That's the card of the spiritual testing grounds. That's technically my soul being card for life, but we'll get into that in a later episode. So, the literal meaning of your name can give you a bit of insight into the lessons that you're here to learn, or lessons that help to move you to the next level, because you're here to learn more than one thing. And so these could be things that help to elevate you or to help you move past certain things in order to get to that next level. Fun fact, I was also named Ashley or Brittany, but my grandmother stepped in and said no. That's how she helped to facilitate this name on this side, and I'm grateful to her for that. No shade, but I knew plenty of Ashleys and Brittany's growing up, and I actually decided to look at how those names came about. And so one of my closest friends, and this gave me so much insight to her life too. One of my closest friends, I've known her since elementary school. The way you spell her name gives her the 10 of spades, honey. And that is the card of the workaholic / hard work. You are guaranteed to have to work hard as hell with that card. So Ashley, if you listen, I love you. And I got you. So another way of spelling Ashley could be the Jack of Clubs, which is the wordsmith. Another way that I've seen, and I'm going to say that I haven't seen a Black person's name spelled Ashley like this, but I have come across some white girls or some white women named Ashley that's spelled, this way. I'm going to try to put examples up, and it comes up to be the 4 of spades, which is a protected life, grounded life, and the card of the kept woman. And I can definitely see how that correlates. Another way of spelling Ashley could be a 2 of diamonds, which is the Lord of compromise. And there's another way of spelling Ashley, which I have seen the most common way, which is the 5 of spades, which is the card of the wanderer, restlessness, and then like the card of the gypsy, I would say. So when I got into the Britneys of them all, one way of spelling Brittany was a 5 of diamonds, which could denote roller coaster finances or the card of sales. So they might be, they might be able to be some slick talkers and be able to get some good money deals going. I ain't gonna lie. Another way of spelling Brittany would be the 9 of diamonds, which is the card of universal values. Another way, which is the way I've most commonly seen, is a 2 of clubs, which is the conversationalist / I call them the smooth operator, because I have seen them talk them way out of some mess. And then another way would be the Jack of Hearts, which is divine love or the loving messenger. And so, like, I've seen this way spelled, and I can see where a little bit of martyrdom comes up with that a bit. But that's just, my insight into these things. And so I really urge you, this is just us touching on a little bit of this, but I really urge you to get into that. If you already don't know your birth card and you don't already know the card of your name, I definitely urge you to get into that. So definitely explore. So just remember that your name is more than something people just call you. It can be a blueprint or is the blueprint for your life. So drop your name below, drop your name card below, and let's explore together. If you'd like a little bit of help exploring that, you can check out my offerings at queendaddysaturn.com, and I'll see you next episode. Thank you for joining me on The Cards Made Me Do It. Remember to take what resonates and leave the rest. If you found value in today's journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay in tune with the cosmos and let the cards illuminate your path. Until next time, embrace the magic within and around you. Peace.